Since there has to be limit, being is complete on every side. It's complete. Its completion is its perfection. Watch the way he plays with it. I'm going to stay with one word and don't lose it. It's a simile. Like. Like the mass of a well-rounded sphere. He's not saying it is a well-rounded sphere. It's like a well-rounded sphere, equally balanced in every direction from the center. Clearly it cannot be greater in any direction than any other, inasmuch as there is no not being to prevent it from reaching and reaching out equally. Nor is it the nature of being to be more here and less there. The all is inviolable. Since it is equal to itself in all directions, therefore it's homogeneous, no differences in the nature of reality, right? It's homogeneous throughout. No limit. Its only limit is perfection. Now, what is this kind of thinking? Right, let's stop for a moment. Now, right, we're engaged in this kind of reflection, aren't we? Right. We're engaged in this kind of reflection. We're trying to keep our minds on this and not veer from it. That's our goal. We want to focus on it and see if we can explore it. And so we're keeping our thought consistent with this, and that's all we're considering. Say, wait a minute, then that kind of thinking, it's the same as the nature of reality. I mean, if you're thinking these, and this is the way the nature of reality is, then you're thinking the same categories that the nature of reality can be considered in. Is that right? Oh, well, then thinking and the object of thought at this point are the same. Is that right? Does that follow? Then thinking and the object of thought are the same. We have a conclusion we can now reach. Section D. Thinking and the object of thought are the same. Next step. Thought and being are the same. If you are thinking in these categories, I mean, if this is where your thought has brought you, then whatever we mean by thought, if it's able to hold this together, right, well then, this is being, and this is thinking. Why, look here. Look here. Thinking and the object of thought are the same, then thinking and being are the same. What kind of thinking? This kind of thinking. Now that's called the way of truth. Here I bring to close my trustworthy, rational discourse concerning truth. What does he call it? A rational discourse. What does he call this? Truth. This is what he regards as true. Learn next about the opinions of men. As you listen to the deceptive ordering of my words, there's something I'm going to say that's deceptive, and you have to catch it. For men have established the habit of naming two thought forms. That's where they made a mistake. Therein they have erred, because one of the forms ought not to be named. One of them shouldn't have been named. Now we're going to push it. Examples. They have distinguished the thought forms as opposed in character and as having properties which set them apart from each other. On the one hand, there's the fire of the upper sky, gentle, rarefied, and everywhere identical with itself. On the other hand, lies opposed to it utter darkness, dense, heavy. I shall tell you about this supposed arrangement as men understand it, in order that your knowledge of such matters may not be inferior to theirs, right? I'm going to tell you about it the way they understand it, so you'll be able to understand it as well as they do, and therefore your understanding will not be inferior to theirs. But you know what? It's all deceptive. Now, we can do something, you see. He is going to have a set of opposites. He's going to set up a set of opposites, and they're going to be opposed one to the other. But then, in every case, he's going to bring in something that unites them together. If there's something that unites them together, then they can't be utterly opposed to one another. They may function as opposites, but it is not true then that they are primordially or basically or intrinsically in the very nature of reality opposed to one another. They're just two different forces operating that fit into a higher unity. Let's see if that's there or not. You shall come to know the nature of the sky, 1, and the signs of the sky, 2, and the unseen works of the pure, bright torch of the sun, and how they came into being, cosmology. You shall learn the nature of the round-faced moon and its wandering works. You shall know the encompassing empyrean, whence it arose, and how necessity grasped and chained it so as to fix the limits of the stars. The empyrean encloses it. The same thing is going to be true in the next one. Watch. You shall learn how earth and sun and moon, one set, and the sky that's common, what embraces it, how the Milky Way and outermost Olympus and all the burning power of the stars arose. 2, something inclusive. Now, this idea of the cosmos, he is going to place within the cosmos divinity. So, in these opposites, he's still going to place in anything, right? He's going to place a divinity within it that's going to play, just like as we talked about with Heraclitus, a major role. The smaller orbits are filled with unmixed fire. Those next to them are filled with darkness, although an allotted measure of light accompanies them.